Good morning, amazing people. This is Teacher Mazy, and for this video, I will discuss about converting fraction to decimal. Fractions and decimals express parts of a whole unit. So, this means it can be converted. Okay, so from fraction to decimal and decimals to fraction. So, with decimals, a whole unit is divided into 10 parts, which is the tens, 100 parts, 100, 1,000 parts, thousands, or any power of 10. In converting fractions to decimal for those fractions whose denominators are power of 10, we simply identify sa denominator kung ano yung place value niya. For example, this is 7 tenths. So, our denominator is on tens, so that means our decimal is in tens place value. Okay? So, next is we have 36 hundredths. So, our denominator is hundreds. So, that means our decimal, yung numerator natin, is in hundreds place value. This is tens. This is 100. 36 hundredths. So, remember, in decimals, wala tayong ones. Ang first place value natin ay tenths. Okay? Tenths, hundredths. Next is, we have this 365 over 1,000. So, 1,000. So, that means our decimal is in thousands place. 365. So, tens, hundreds, and thousands. So, 365 thousands. Next, how about this one? We have 2 over 1,000. So, that means, kailangan yung decimal natin, yung numerator ay nasa thousands place. So, thousands place, we have tens, hundreds, and then thousands. So, as you can see, we add 2 zeros kasi 2 lang yung numerator natin, but kailangan nasa thousands place siya. So, 2 thousands. Okay, so that's how you convert fraction whose denominators are powers of 10. So, paano naman kung hindi powers of 10 ang ating denominator? For this example, 4/5, yung 5, hindi naman siya 10. Right? How do we convert fractions? So, first is we can use division. Our long division. So, that means our numerator must be divided by the denominator. So, let's use long division. So, 4 divided by 5 is cannot be. So, this is 0. Let's add another 0. So, when we add another 0, mag-a-add tayo ng decimal point. Okay? So, 40 divided by 5 is 8. 8 times 5 is 40. Okay? So, that means 4/5 is equal to 8 tenths. So, this kind of decimal is called terminating decimal. This decimal is considered terminating decimal because the quotient, yung quotient natin, ay may zero remainder. So, kapag may zero remainder tayo, that is an example of terminating decimal. Next method is we can use by using equivalent fraction. Ang goal naman natin dito is to make our denominator a power of 10. Mag-iisip tayo ng number na kung saan i-multiply natin siya para maging power of 10 siya. Okay? So, in this case, 4. May pwede ba tayong i-multiply para maging 10? No. So, ang nearest is 100. Okay, so we can multiply 4 by 25. so that we can get hundreds sa ating denominator, and hundreds is a power of 10. And then, kung minultiply natin siya ng 25 sa ating denominator, we need to multiply also the numerator by the same number. So that means 3 times 25 is 75. Now, we can convert it to decimal using this method. So 100, so that means our decimal is in 100 places. So let's just write the numerator 7500. So this is also an example of terminating decimal. Dahil wala tayong remainder, okay, so terminating decimal. So fixed lang siya, hanggang dyan lang siya. So next is, another example is 7/8. Okay, so let's use division for this given. So first is divide the numerator by the denominator. 7 divided by 8 is cannot be. So that is 0. Let's add another 0. So we need to put the decimal point. So 8 times 8 is 64 minus, so 70 minus 64 is 6. So let's add another 0. Okay, bring down. So 60 divided by 8 is 7. And 7 times 8 is 56. Minus, we have 4. Let's add another 0. Bring down. So 40 divided by 8 is 5. And 5 times 8 is 40. So we can get a 0 remainder. Okay, so the answer is 0.875. So since we have fixed or finite decimals here, so that means this example is also terminating. Another example of terminating decimal. Okay, so 875 thousandths. Next. So how about this one? So let's see if it is also an example of terminating decimal or non-terminating decimal. Okay, so let's use division. So 2 divided by 99. Okay, so 2 divided by 99 is 0. 0 times 99. So let's add another 0. So 20 divided by 99 is cannot be also. So 0. 0. Now we have 200. So 200 divided by 99 is 2. And that is 198. So 200 minus 198 is 2. So let's add another 0. 20. So 0 again. Add another 0, which is 200. And we still got to 198. And minus 2. So as you can see, we have a pattern here. So kapag ganito yung nangyari, kapag nagpatuloy pa tayo, nag-add pa tayo ng maraming 0 dito, same number lang yung lalabas. So 02, 02, 02. Ganun lang yung magiging pattern niya. So that means this is an example of non-terminating decimal. Okay? So because 02 is a repeated or recurring decimal. So to write that, we put a bar on top. So this bar on top indicates that this number is repeated. Okay? So this is an example of non-terminating decimal. Okay? So non-terminating siya at paulit-ulit lang yung decimals niya. So, all you have to do is put a bar on top to indicate that it is repeating or recurring decimal. So, let's practice. So, write each fraction as decimal. Identify whether it is a terminating or non-terminating repeating decimal. So, you may pause this video and answer this and then go back after you answer or check. Okay, so let's answer. So, for number 1, we have 3/20. So, we can use by 20. Okay, so we can use by equivalent fraction. So, we can multiply it so that our denominator becomes a power of 10. So, we can use 5. Okay, and then by doing so, we need to multiply also our numerator by the same number. So, 3 times 5 is 15, and 20 times 5 is 100. So, that means it is, in decimal, is 1500. Okay, for number 1, it is 1500. Next, for the second given, I will use the division method. So, divide the numerator by the denominator. So, that 7 divided by 9 is cannot be. So, let's add another 0 and a decimal point. So, 70 divided by 9 is 7. And 7 times 9 is 63. And this is 70 minus 63 is 7. Let's add another 0 and another 7. So it is a repeating, non-terminating, repeating decimal. Okay, next is, so this is 0.7. And then let's put a bar of top at the top to indicate that it is a repeating decimal. So next is 1/3. So let's use division. So 1 divided by 3. Let's add another 0. So this is 3. 9. So 10 minus 9 is 1. Another 0. Okay, 3. 9. Okay, so as you can see, we have the same remainder. So that means this is a non-terminating and repeating decimal. So our answer is 0.3, and put a bar on top to indicate that it is a repeating decimal. For number 1, it is terminating. For number 2, it is non-terminating, repeating decimal. Okay, and the same with the third given. Okay, so that's it. So I hope you got the correct answer. If you have questions, so just comment it on the chat box. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching this video, and see you on my next videos.
Bye!
Bye!